So how should the leagues support and promote an anti-racism position without becoming political and alienating fans? Thank you.
Well, Brett is a great guy.
Brett Favre, who hates sports mixing with politics.
I find it hard to believe, first of all, that he intentionally meant to kill George Floyd. I mean, I don't know what led to that video that we saw where his knee is on his neck. I know when I turn on a game, I want to watch a game. I want to watch players play. I don't think that we should defund the police in no way, shape, or form. I don't think we should remove.
Really loves using his platform as an NFL quarterback to dabble in politics.
I'm kind of old school. I think, you play, you get paid a ton of money to do a certain job, and just do it and let the chips fall where they may. I think we make too much money to voice an opinion.
Ironic coming from Favre, considering this.
Officials in Mississippi are now threatening to sue one of Mississippi's favorite sons, Brett Favre. An auditor there says the Southern Miss hero and former NFL star still owes more than $800,000 in welfare funds that he received for speeches that he never gave.
This is a story that has gone on for over 2 years. Favre, per Mississippi Today, was promoting a drug called Prevacus, which is, in theory, a medication administered to those who were just dealt the serious blow many football players know of, a concussion. Supposed to counter the effects at the cellular level.
I'm talking to Dr. Amalu, who Will Smith portrayed in the movie Concussion. He said, "How many do you think you have?" I said, "I think I had 2. He said, "How many times did you get sacked and you had ringing in your ears?" I said, "I can't tell you how many times that." And he goes, "Those are concussions."
It was something Favre, like many other athletes, had an interest in curbing. However, that's where this man comes into play. Ex-Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Mississippi Today wrote Favre, along with Bryant, requested a meeting with the Mississippi Department of Human Services. This is incredibly abnormal, but it happened anyway.
It gets real tricky and scary.
Desperate for funding, Bryant helped Prevacus find investors, make political connections, and he even agreed to accept stock in the company in January of 2020. Now here's the disgusting kicker to this story.
Brett Favre got this money from 2 nonprofits. The founder of the nonprofits has since been indicted as part of the largest embezzlement scheme in Mississippi history. State officials say the money Favre got should actually have gone to needy families in the Magnolia State.
Mind you, this all came about because of this man, Mississippi State Auditor Shad White. According to the Clarion Ledger, Favre's company was given over $1 million in return for appearance fees, promotions, autographs, speaking engagements, etc. The auditors found he did not show up for any of the assigned tasks. Brett Favre then vowed to pay back the money he received, until it broke that it was just a bit of an empty gesture by the Hall of Famer, per the fine work of journalist Anna Wolf. He made one payment, which left over $600,000 unpaid. It remained outstanding until Favre finally, through much pressure, repaid it. Still, litigation may have been pending because of outstanding interest payments. 2 major players you should know are Nancy New and her son Zach. They both pled guilty to bribery and fraud back in April. However, the 2 are now talking, and the admissions, if true, bring down Bryant and potentially Favre. In short, the News ran a nonprofit called the Mississippi Community Education Center. They received taxpayer funding, but used those dollars to enrich themselves and even funnel money to, get this, Favre's daughter's university, where she played volleyball. Mind you, the Mississippi Community Education Center is supposed to help those in poverty. Mississippi Today reported the News spent upwards of $65 million. No one made the News report their finances at the time. Out of $135 million in 2018, Mississippi spent just 5%, or $7.3 million, on direct cash assistance to poor families. Lest we forget, Favre's company. It was reported the News and others allegedly took over $2 million in welfare dollars to make personal investments in Prevacus and its affiliate. The recent revelations as of today are troubling for Bryant and Favre. WCTV reports a defendant, as in Nancy New, in a Mississippi welfare fraud case said in a court document she directed $1.1 million in welfare money to former NFL star Brett Favre at the direction of former Governor Phil Bryant. In a court filing, New doubles down on the allegation of the $1.1 mil payment made to Favre for speaking at events, keynote speaking, radio and promotional events, and business partner development. The Mississippi Department of Human Services alleges New and 37 other defendants, including Brett Favre, violated federal rules when they spent or received money from a federal block grant called Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. Anna Wolf, the journalist who has worked on this story for years, told local affiliate WJTV that she interviewed Governor Bryant for hours. She pressed him on the texts that show Favre and others were receiving public funds and discussed stock in the company. She says Bryant's explanation was he did not read his texts carefully enough. Now, the state has subpoenaed the former governor to explore whether the Bryants are culpable. The subpoena also asks for any communication between USM Athletic Foundation board members or employees and Favre. The News, former Welfare Department Director John Davis, and retired wrestler Ted DeBias Jr. Mississippi Today also reported the deposition schedule. One of the names is none other than Mississippi's own Brett Favre. There are scores of texts uncovered that show Favre and Bryant discussing the new volleyball court, which would allegedly use taxpayer funds for those in poverty to build a state-of-the-art facility, to Favre saying they were in a little bit of a crunch pertaining to Prevacus, even making it clear they needed Bryant's help. Bryant's involvement in the volleyball project has not been officially scrutinized until now. Today, the building is finished, and USM volleyball matches are happening there. Services for needy families, however, are not. A spokesperson for the former governor released a statement denying the accusations, according to WAPT-TV. Favre has not been charged with any criminal wrongdoing and has repaid the money. He has said that he didn't know the money he received came from welfare funds and has denied the auditor's allegations that he was paid for events he did not attend.